Well, good morning, everybody out there in Instagram land, Facebook world, TikTok land, anywhere this is going to have clips going out to it. All of those good things. So, let's just put it out here for Mr. Roy Joe Twinkle Toes Sparkle Butt Bradley Twilight Jr. that the Thunder beat the Pacers last night in a big fashion. They opened up the margin, tied the series 1-1, and just like the Golden State series where they dropped game one and won the rest of the four games after that, this is how it's going to go for them the rest of the series. So, Mr. Roy Joe Twinkle Toes Sparkling Butt Bradley Twilight Jr., you can go cry in your spilt milk because Thunder is going to win the series. So there you go. That's all I have to say about that. And as the title says, not here because there is no title on Instagram, but on over here. Whoops, let me get this changed up. Turn that off, turn this on. Boom, gives my text number up there for suicide prevention hotline out there. It gives two different numbers. If you have any inkling of putting yourself below dirt, give that number a call and or hit me up in my DMs. We'll talk. Because I have been there myself. It's not a fun place to be by any stretch of the imagination. Sorry, I got to put my circle sizer up. All right. So, busy, busy, busy is the title I have out there on Facebook, and that'll be the title that goes with this everywhere it goes when it comes to my recordings and how it goes and lays out everywhere. It will go on my two Facebook pages, and from there, if I can get a clip on TikTok, I will do that. But generally, it only takes so much on there. And since I can't go live until the 10th, which means I won't be going live until the 11th, and yes, it is the 9th right now, so that means a few more days. Tomorrow, technically, I get out of TikTok prison for saying the word erotic. Put that all together. And, they deemed that was my entire show when it was only like a minute and a half of my 40 plus minute show that I had already been on. So you would think that if I was speaking the whole sexuality out there from point A when the show started to point B when they deemed my show a violation and cut it off, which was like 43 minutes into my show, that they would have cut it off 2 or 3 minutes into my show. Because if that's all I was talking about, don't wouldn't you think they would have shut it off earlier than that? But no, their infinite wisdom, their AI is right, you know, because AI is the future and AI is correct. Bullshit. That's what I got to say to that. Well, I'm surprised that Mr. Roy Joe Twinkletoes is not over here already. So it's kind of surprising. Normally he's already here, but he was watching some Pride stuff. So, you know, more power to him. Watching something in LA going down. But anyway, no. Um, so tomorrow, technically, I get out of jail for TikToker over there, and so I'm looking forward to being out and back over there because I usually get about 3,000 viewers over there on a live show. Over here, don't know how many I actually get, um, because yeah, I can see my insights and stuff like that. Um, that things are going on. And, you know, it is one of those things that you want more viewership, you know? And I don't understand why people get so scared whenever they're talking to a camera, because most of the places that you're interacting with, you're not technically interacting with in the first place. You're just going on about your talks, your thoughts, and things like that. And it is one of those type of situations where people, if you don't watch your counters and you don't watch all of that stuff, who are you really talking to? You're talking to yourself. You know, you're putting out knowledge that you have inside yourself out to the masses. And hopefully, you do get to see a lot of interaction on your posts, on your live shows and things like that. And that's generally what happens on my TikTok lives. Now, on my Facebook lives, I usually don't see a whole lot of interactions up here, even though I've got the comment section up over here. I've got all my poll stuff. I haven't done any polls on there, but I can see my insights of who's watching, who's not watching, who reacts to it. Do I have any live goals over here, like on TikTok and things like that? Um, I can cross post to more pages. I can notify people via Messenger. I can do clips from here. Schedule a live video event, which I'm already live up there right now as of 6 minutes ago, you know? And so it's just like, why do people get so nervous when they're talking on their own live broadcast, you know? Because in essence, you don't see who's watching you. You don't see what they're doing. They're seeing what you're doing, and sorry about my fingernails. They've got still brakes gunk underneath them right now. From working on the car, from working on the truck, finally got the brakes worked out for the most part. Um, Sorry, I got to double check over here to make sure got to make sure I'm not frozen over here, which is what it's kind of looking like. There we go. Okay. Been working on the truck, so that's part of my busy schedule. Um, got the brakes lined out, took them all, put new brakes on out there, and so take the top uh, springs off and stuff like that, and this stuff just starts falling out. It's kind of crazy. And then you got to try and figure out where the hell it all goes, you know. And so whenever you take stuff off on the other side, you take pictures and get all your stuff taken care of that way. But um, but no, we got it all together. It's still showing up after I drive it that the ABS light comes on and the brake light comes on. Now, the sensor, the coding section, there's something wrong with it in there somewhere, and I'm not sure what actually is going on because we cannot get it to code to give us some codes to figure out what's wrong with the why the ABS is coming on, the why the whole brake system lights come on after we drive it and hit the brakes a few times. But it is drivable. It does stop, and it does stop in a panic situation because that's what was one of the things that we tested after we got the brakes up and running. It took 3 days to do the brakes. Okay. Number one, I don't know when the last time anybody changed the brakes on this vehicle was. Let's just put it that way. Last place it was before Arkansas was up in Seattle, Washington, with all that salt water and rain. So a lot of things were rusted. The tire was rusted to the drum, uh, and to the uh, my brain just went blank on what it's called. So I had to literally kick the tires, an old expression back in the day, uh, just to get the tire broke loose from the 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 rotor. That's it, the rotor. And from there, um, once I was able to get that off, things went smooth on the front. The front was no issue. It was the rears that were the pain, and that's where we started. We started with the front or the rear driver side tire first, and then, excuse me, we had a chore just trying to get that one taken off the first time. Yes, I had to take it off twice because I'm an idiot. I didn't realize that they packaged the rear brakes same with same, not as a kit. You know, this kit to this kit that you put on the left and right side tires. No, they packaged it all same with same. So the one with the pin was packaged together. So you had two of the same ones on the same side in the same package, and then the one without the pin was in the other side or in the other package. Whereas most of the time, whenever you package something, this side gets packaged together, this side gets packaged together, so that you take them and put them on the sides and ready to work. Not the way it does with back brakes. And I didn't realize that because that's how often I change the back drum brakes to a truck. Um, so we put the same pin side on the driver side. And so whenever we got to working on the passenger side, it was just like, where's the pin? There's no pin. And so we had to go take off the other tire. Had to jack it all up again on the back side, take that tire off, take the brakes apart again, and then take one of the pin brake shoes and put it on the other side and take the other one back over to this side. So it was just a big chore. So now that part is done, I've got to get it aligned. It does tend to sway a little bit because your steering wheel is here, and the middle section, that big area where the horn is and your air brake or airbag is, should be relatively straight, right? As it's in there whenever your steering wheel is going straight down the road. Well, mine, instead of being straight like this, for my vehicle to be straight, the steering wheel sits like this. So this is how that middle section where the airbag is sits in my truck right now. So I've got to get it back here and get everything aligned this way, which shouldn't be hard. But as we're looking, we need new bushings, we need new uh, ball joints in certain things, and things like that, which is understandable because it is an old truck and nobody wanted to work on it. Let's just put it that way. They did the basic necessities to keep it running. Okay. Um, and so with that, now I'm going to start working on the inside of the truck, which means the aesthetic areas. Like it has no dashboard right now. The front panel is busted, but I've got a new one of those. I've got a new grill to put on it. I need some new bumpers, but that'll come later. Because literally, this is just a work truck. Yeah, it's got some cosmetic damages on the outside, but those can be fixed pretty simple. We are going to repaint the truck, but keep it pretty close to the same colors that it is now, the Dallas Cowboy colors that it has. And so, with that, I'm looking forward to being able to drive around, and pick up stuff that I need. Hey, there's free stuff here on Marketplace. Let's go get it. Well, I don't have to wait for the girlfriend to get home to go get it, you know? I can just be like, hey, I'm going to get this shit while you're at work. I'll be back in a little while. So that's taken up a lot of my time so far. Trying to get this truck, well, the biggest portion was trying to get this truck registered and legal right off the bat. And that took nearly 9 months. And so from there, the whole aspect of now, hey, I can drive this truck whenever I want. You know, it's got my disabled veterans tag on the back. It's got, what is going on? Come on, you piece of junk. Catch up. Okay. And so now it's basically to the point where I can drive it. I can do what I want now. I can get away from the house if I need to. Um, Now, with that being said, uh, we did pick up another dog, not to keep, not to keep, not to keep, because he does not jive well with our pigs or our cats. So he was one that we saw that, well, she saw on the side of the road, um, over by a spot between Barling and Central City, that he was just dumped, you know, and people do that a lot. They dump their animals. Well, here in Arkansas, there is a statute that can get you thrown in jail for dumping your animals if you're caught. Well, apparently they did it under cover of darkness or something when no one would be paying attention. And so she saw this dog sitting on the side of the road. So we went back, and lo and behold, he was sitting there barking and crying, basically, waiting for his owners to come back. So we picked him up. He stank to high heavens. We were going to Tractor Supply anyway to get pig food. So they have this pet wash, dog wash area. So we paid the price to get the dog washed. He's a decent dog, but he does not like our mini pig, Bruiser, our rescue pig. And then he does not like Bit for the most part. He likes to bark at her, but he's not brave enough to go toe to toe with her because she is massive compared to him. But he will go after Bacon, or not Bacon Bit, after Bruiser, which is not cool. And then he tries to go after the cats. So again, not cool. They all these animals are here before him. And again, he's not staying. He is just we're just fostering him right now until we find him a home. Hopefully that is very soon. So it is busy here on a regular basis. Now, let's continue on with the homestead busyness, okay? So you've got your laundry, you've got your dishes, you've got your sweeping, your dusting, your mopping, you know, all that good stuff to take care of on a daily basis for the most part. There's some days that we lack on it, slack on it, and we don't do it on a regular daily basis, okay? And that's a lot of people. Now there are some people that no, that's what I love to do. I love to clean on a daily basis. Then you're just a psycho, you know, if that's you. Um, because I hate to do it. You know, I will procrastinate about it. And I know that's not right because you want to live in a clean house. I mean, already my office is getting to the point again where it's like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? You know? And so um, I'm about to start cleaning again. I'm already 2 shows behind as well on Ben Dunn's stuff, and another one's about to drop on Friday. You know, so I'll be 3 down. But hopefully this week, in the morning time, while I'm working on artwork, I will be able to do some of those live shows, or not live shows, but recorded shows on the Antarctic Press stuff, which I'm behind on. Because I've got Your to Do, which is a 139-page comic book. So looking forward to that one, and then I've already got another one. I can't remember the title of it right this second, but that's neither here nor there. Just because um, I will get to those. Okay, been done. I will get to those. I promise. So the homesteading side, you've got your animal chores to do. You've got any burials that have to happen. Because we did lose another chick uh, to whatever reason. She just wasn't growing. Everybody else was picking on her. We separated her out into a different box, kept her close to the heat source, and um, I'm glad you could finally show up, Mr. Roy, Joe, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Bradley, Twilight Jr. And you made some posts on Facebook that you tagged me in, probably something stupid about the Pacers gonna win the series, blah blah blah, which is not gonna happen. And I already talked about this at the beginning of the show, and so I was done with that spiel. But then I saw your little tag come through for Facebook over there, and then I saw you pop on, which you're 20 minutes late, so you're gonna put your nose in the corner. So and no, I already talked about you at the beginning of the show. With the Thunder blowing out the Pacers in Game 2, and that's how it went with the Golden State series. The series, Golden State Warriors won Game 1, just like the Pacers won Game 1, and then the Oklahoma City Thunder rolled the rest of the series and won out and destroyed the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry. So there you go. Now we are on to the homestead section. So you've got the birds to take care of. You got the pigs to take care of. You got turkeys, geese, ducks to take care of. And then from there, yes, you're in trouble. Um, 21 minutes late. And you're scared. I know you are. And I mean, you've been watching whatever is going on in LA, so, all that good stuff. And so you've got your homesteading stuff. And with all this rain that's been happening, things are just gross around here. Muddy ground. Everywhere you walk, you kind of sink into, especially when you get into the chicken coop. That we've got to run with the chicken coop, and that's what the Thunder said when they won Game 2. And so I am building a new chicken coop, and I've been building this chicken coop for the past month and a half. And we've just had so much rain that I can't get out there and continue to build on it. And we're supposed to have more rain, this week, starting tomorrow, the Wednesday. Starting Wednesday to Sunday, I think we're supposed to have more rain in the forecast, which just sucks because I want to get this build done so that I can get all of the chickens and turkeys moved into this coop so that um, we have better ground for them to walk on. Because right now they're just walking in mud on a regular basis, which is not good for their feet. So that's okay. The Thunder are going to win it all, bub. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mr. Roy Joe, Twinkle Toes, Sparkle Butt, Bradley, Twilight Jr., for talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder in that light. I appreciate that, especially since it's my hometown team and they are going to walk away with the championship. So thank you. Thank you. I need to put my Thunder flags in here during my live shows and, show my true support for them. Um, but, like I do with Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys over here with his autograph right there. Right there. His rookie card autograph. One point in time, it was worth about 150 bucks. Don't know how much it's worth now. Haven't looked into that. But that sits right here, as well as Odigizua. Is that who I've got? Ugh. No, another University of Oklahoma, David Owagbu. So he's an OU player. Best team out there. Oklahoma City Thunder, Oklahoma Sooners, Bum, bum, bum. Right there. 2 autographs. Football players right there. Get over it. Oklahoma City Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder. Go Oklahoma City Thunder. Thank you. Thank you, Roy. That's awesome of you. You're awesome, dude. I appreciate you very much. So, so once I get this coop built and everything the way I want it, especially getting it built, getting it insulated, because hell, we're almost into the cold months, November, the end of September, October, November, December, January into February, sometimes March. We have cooler temperatures. Get it insulated. Right now it doesn't need to be insulated for summer, but it doesn't even have walls up yet. It has the structures and the framing for it, and where the windows are already in. I've got to put my screening up for the uh, the cross ventilation to keep all the airflow going in there, because basically it's just a coop. It's going to have all the protection around the base, all the way around and up the walls, so that critters can't dig in and get to the animals while they sleep during the night. Because we do have coyotes here, we do have raccoons and possums. The possums are going to eat more of the eggs than they are the chickens themselves, just because they aren't coordinated enough like the raccoons to grab hold of your chickens and things like that. Now we don't have to worry about too much of snakes, because if the snakes do get in there, they're going for the eggs as well, more so than trying to get a chicken. Because we haven't seen any really poisonous snakes right in our area. We have some blue racers, we have some grass snakes, we have some uh, black snake, rat snakes, and we have these little bitty worm-sized uh, brown snakes that are just harmless. So I haven't seen any poisonous snakes, like rattlesnakes or copperheads or anything like that. I'm not saying they're not here, because I know they are. We've got a creek right down the way. I mean, hell, we've got a pond right here that brings in wildlife, because we get regular frog visits, you know. So, but pretty soon that's going to be bigger and deeper, just because it's going to be housing all of our ducks and geese and stuff like that over in that little section. So the again, something I talked about while you were out sleeping or watching or doing or posting your little whatever it was on Facebook. Um, the brakes are fixed to a point. The main sensor, we've got to somehow override that, because it is still showing my ABS and my brake lights coming on after I drive it for a while. The brakes do work. They do stop the truck. Panic brakes do work whenever you slam on the brakes in case of, a vehicle stops in front of you, or I don't know. I don't know, Roy. I mean, all this stuff that you keep putting up here, I don't know if I can forgive you for any of that stuff. Going against my hometown team just because it's my hometown team, you know. And I mean, I will say that you did congratulate me on the win yesterday. So that was a nice thing to do. But and I'm really surprised you're going against Oklahoma City with two Arkansas players that played for your beloved basketball team, who didn't make the final, the Sweet Eight or Final Four or anything like that, down the stretch. And they play for Oklahoma City Thunder. So I'm really surprised that you are rooting against them just because they are an Oklahoma team, one of the best teams in the league, one of the best teams in the world, just like the Dallas Cowboys and the Oklahoma Sooners, you know. So there you go. But no, so the brakes do work, and now I'm just ready to give it a true road test. I do have to get it aligned, so I'm going to try and do that as best I can. Because I can't go get it aligned just yet by a company, just because of the it needs new bushings, it needs new ball joints, it needs new tie rods, it needs there's a lot of things that it needs on the front end. But like I was saying, while you were gone and sleeping, this is how your steering wheel sits. That big black area where the airbag is and the horn is. You know, you're sitting here driving like this. Well, this is straight. This is your steering wheel, and it goes straight across right there with your, if unless it's got one of those little V type shapes on it. Well, your emblem is straight up and down as you're looking at it. Well, as I'm driving mine, for it to be straight, my steering wheel sits like this. So my emblem is sitting catty corner like this, at a diagonal. And right here, this is how it goes. So I have to get it back here, you know. And then, like I said, I'm going to be doing some cosmetic work on the inside because I got to get a stereo in. I've got to get the speakers in so that I can have some road tunes. Um, I've got to put in my new front panel that I've got, and then I've got to get the new dashboard because it does have no dash on the inside. So it's just all cosmetic stuff. It's nothing major. But this is just a work truck, and I don't care. You can come over whenever. And so once I get all that done and get a stereo in there and get something to cover the dash right now, until I can buy a new dash cover, a new dash in there, which I can get off of Amazon. Um, it just looks ugly on the inside, you know, just like some people out there. They're ugly on the inside, even though they have a good presence on the outside. Their intersection is ugly, you know, which makes them completely ugly, like my ex-wife. But anyway, so, um, but yeah, no, so once I get this coop up and running, then we can move all of our smaller birds into what's called a brooder section, which will be inside with the regular birds so that they can interact with each other and get used to each other so that they don't pick on the other birds. And that's what happens a lot. Your bigger birds will pick on your smaller birds just because they're smaller and new, you know? And so we definitely want to avoid that. And that's why you put a brooder box in there so that everybody can get acclimated to each other. And I think I'm even going to do it where it's a little bit of a double layer where I've got the main screen. Well, no, I don't even have to do that. Just put up a different put up the hardware cloth, not your typical chicken wire. The chicken wire, you know, has a 1 inch or half-inch circles, basically hexagon type shapes in it, whereas your hardware cloth has these tiny little holes where they can see each other, interact with each other, but they can't peck through the chicken wire or the hardware cloth. So I think that's what I'll do is just put up the hardware cloth. And then from there, there'll be a top section over the top of that because there's going to be roosting bars up on top of that. And then from the roosting bars down, I think we're going to have about 7 roosting bars going up in there. And then we're going to have the nesting boxes off to the side. And then we will also have water on the inside only. Food will be on the outside to keep your rodent problem down, if you will. And because right now we've got an infestation of mice inside the chicken coop as it is right now, so which is not good. But you know, if the chickens are fast enough, they can catch the mice and they can eat them. You know, so that's a plus. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to getting this built. But you know, with all this rain that we've had, unseasonable amounts of rain already this year, uh, it makes it difficult to work on the chicken coop on any length of time, which sucks. because, like I said, I want to get it done. I want to get it finished, and that way I can get everybody moved into it and lock them in there for 3 or 4 days so they get acclimated to it as a, hey, this is our new home, type of situation. Whereas, you know, right now they're used to going all these separate directions inside their coop, inside their run. So you got some birds going over here, you got some birds going over here, you got some birds just sleeping outside. And, it's, we want them all a conducive, happy family. So, you know, that's what this big coop is, because it's 12 foot by 12 foot. And, we're not going to have the floor ready that we want, those type of things. So we want a concrete floor in it. But it's not going to be ready anytime soon. So we are going to, have to build everything up, get everything in there, and then pour the concrete later. Um, so I might go with some sand or, whatever first. I don't know yet. Or just leave it natural dirt floor with the grass and stuff already down in there, because they will eat the grass and kill the grass pretty fast anyway, like they did in their run as it is. So, but yeah, no, we look forward to all that. And then on top of all that, this is why the title on Facebook is Busy, 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 is because, about to sneeze, I think. Maybe not. I'm working on a children's book series with a friend of mine. And I'm going to be working on the cover this morning for it. And then from there, I got the back cover to do as well. And then this is just going to be the kickoff of it. And then I've got pages to do for the inside of book one with all of that. And then from there, I've got two big commissions. I've got a 9 by 12, which isn't huge, but then I've got a 18 by 24 that I'm supposed to be working on right now as well. So I've got all that going. So it's just busy, 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 and I love it. But, I'm behind on a lot of stuff, and which isn't fun, because you want to get things out in a timely manner. You want to get things, you know, produced in a timely manner as well. But I'm not so far behind that it's been like, um, you know, 2 months since I started all this stuff, as far as the artwork goes. Um, and then not only that, sometime this week, I'm going to be getting in a lot of product. Hopefully starting tomorrow, because the 11th through the 13th, I'm supposed to be getting a lot of drops in from printing stuff from my 11 by 17 prints of my cover for the job number 3 for Legacy Comics. I've got some canvas prints coming in as well. 2 of those are already sold, a print and a canvas. And then I've got t-shirts coming in for the Joker. So hopefully on the 11th, maybe on the 13th, I'll be wearing one of those shirts of my artwork. And then from there, I'm going to be putting in another order for hopefully some more shirts of the Joker, and then some Chester Bennington, and my, yes, the Joker shirt should be here soon, between the 11th and the 13th. And so the Chester Bennington I'm going to be putting in an order for, and then my Naughty Nun I'm going to be putting in an order for as well. And see if anybody wants to purchase those once I start wearing those shirts on lives. Because the Naughty Nun is just pretty cool. I love it. And it's my own artwork. So I don't have to buy it from, Spencer's or Hot Topic or anything like that. Well, it'd be more Spencer's than Hot Topic. And then that's the stuff I want to branch out on. I'm also going to work on my American Horror shirt, which that piece sold a while back to a tattoo artist, and he gave it to his wife. which was my homage to American Gothic, the 1930s painting of the old man with the pitchfork and his younger bride there, which had Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein on mine. And American Horror is going to go across the bottom, and it's going to have my logo on it, just like everything else is going to have my logo on it from now on, including prints. Prints are going to have these nice little new silver stickers that are going to be sticking on the top. And, yep, you need to give it a shot, buddy. Better than that Dr. Pepper and that Mountain Dew. It's healthy for you, unlike that stuff that you drink, clogging up them arteries and pickling that liver. Mine is at least healthy for you. But no, Mr. Roy Joe Bradley Jr., I'm going to have to get you a Sasquatch in your life. Not one that I printed, but one that we picked up when we were out and about. I think it was up in, it might have been in Missouri when we were up there in Branson area when we were up there with her sister 2 months ago, roughly. But yeah, I'm going to have to get you a Sasquatch in your life. You can put him in your car and he can wiggle around. Mm, 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 mm. So yeah, but no, um, so I'm looking forward to everything that's coming in, the new products coming in. It's exciting. Next is going to be table covers, a banner for the background of the shows. I'm trying to figure out how I truly want to handle the backgrounds from now on. Because yes, you want to showcase your work. Yes, you want to do this. Yes, you want to do that. But if I'm going to be doing canvas prints, I want those up, you know. And I'm still going to probably have to do a double booth, no matter what I do. Um, just because, with a new backdrop and new things of that nature, you want it to look cool. And Mr. Rasmussen, uh, with Fantasy Realms Designs, he has a pretty cool setup. He's got all of his print work up as canvas prints, and then he has a tote in front of him that's got all of his prints in it, 11 by 17 prints. And, pretty much every print that he has up on the board, he has a copy of a 11 by 17 print of in the box. So, and then he has it labeled, of course, by what's in the box, aliens, tombstone, whatever, so that he can find them easier, and that's what we have to do from now on, is label our stuff and not have a million prints, like we had before, because we had two different prints sizes. We had an 11 by 17 and we had a 13 by 19 mini poster. 13 by 19 mini poster is going away, and we're sticking with the 11 by 17. 11 by 17s are getting professionally printed so that um, they look better, they're nicer, and they have a semi-gloss to them and all that stuff. Whereas before, you know, um, hometown printer, and they did not have a luster to them, if you will. So we're going to change all of that and give better quality to the masses, so that you're getting something nicer than just a piece of paper. You know, even though we printed on cardstock and all that stuff, it just didn't have that sheen, that luster to it that you saw in other people's prints whenever they had them. You know, so that's what we're looking forward to. And then, of course, the canvas prints. I'm really looking forward to those. So it's going to limit me on what I print, if you will, just because you don't want to overwhelm people. So you're going to pick and choose what gets printed out from now on. And so from there, it's just like, well, what do you really want to see in print form? Do you want to see everything in print form? Well, of course you want to see everything in print form. But if I did that, we're talking 50 different prints, 11 by 17 prints, and that's just not doable in reality. I mean, yes, you've got to spend money to make money, and that's why I'm spending money on the front end so that I can make money in the long run. Shirt investments and things of that nature, you know. And Dexter is going to be one of those shirts. I just don't know which one I want to print up yet. Do I want to print up the painting or do I want to print up the paper version? They both look cool. So it's just like, well, which one do you want to do the most? I'm liking the painting look, and then from there, I really like the other. I really like the paper version. You know, so I've got to look at what I want to get printed as a canvas print, as a 11 by 17 print. So if I have a canvas print, you're going to have an 11 by 17 of the same print. So and there might be some vice versa that don't have a canvas print but have an 11 by 17 print. So ought to do an Incredible Hulk shit as well. I haven't even drawn the Incredible Hulk in a long time. I think the last time I drew an Incredible Hulk was the one for Audrey. That was a not safe for work piece. Um, because the Hulk has a Prince Albert, basically. Well, no, a Jacob's Ladder. A Jacob's Ladder. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. I'm not even going to explain it on this show, just because I will get thrown in jail again for, you know, for talking about certain not safe for work topics. Erotic, put all that together. And, but you should ask her to show you that piece sometime. I'm not even sure where she has it right now. I know it's not displayed anywhere. That's for sure. So I'm not sure where she has it stuck at this moment. But um but yeah, no, as I flip through, you know, it's like how many of my 9 by 12s are going to get turned into prints, you know? I'm going to probably bypass my Batmans, that are sitting here. My 1960s versions. So I'm probably going to bypass my Star Wars stuff. I'll probably bypass my Vampirella stuff. Now, this one might, lo and behold, turn into a print of the cat, the black cat right here, that J. Scott Campbell commented on from his Redo My Cover. You know, that one might be in the running. Um, I might do the Patterson Batman because it's really cool. You know, X-23 probably not. Cable probably not. Cruella probably not. Sting probably not. Ash from the Evil Dead probably not. This Batman probably not. My Pooverine probably not. Yoda would be a cool shirt to do. It would be. I have some Yodas and some Grogus that would make cool shirts. And any of my comic book covers here that I did, probably not going to do as a shirt or a print. Um, so most of my 9 by 12s probably won't happen. Now, when I move into my 11 by 15s, there's probably going to be several in there that I will transform into prints, and especially canvas prints like my Gambit, my Bishop, those type of things. And then I will be working on new projects as well, as I move forward, and so then I'll be looking at those and be like, hey, let's do this as a print. Now, am I going to get them professionally colored? Possibly. Um, by the Kemp brothers, of course, and because they are awesome. But I like the rawness of you know marker to the paper, colored pencil at the same time, some paint on there as well. It's like a true Joseph Michael Linsner. If you look at his, he uses acrylics, he uses pencils, he uses marker, and he just blends it all so magically. It's just phenomenal the way he does. If you don't know who Joseph Michael Linsner is, go look it up. His main work was Dawn back in the day, but he's done a ton of covers for Marvel, DC, um, Dynamite Entertainment. I don't know if he's done anything for Chaos Comics yet, but maybe he has. Or not Chaos, Coffin Comics now, excuse me. With Lady Death and stuff like that. But phenomenal, phenomenal artist. Great dude. I chit chat with him periodically on Facebook. Not like we're on a regular talking basis, But um, he's just a phenomenal dude all the way around. Great artwork. That's never too much stuff looking at stuff. I've got two more portfolios right here, and then I've got my not safe for work artwork. You know, and but like I said, once you get to your wall of artwork behind you, you want a nice little selection for people to choose from. You now I had too many originally because I think I had something like 50 pieces, behind me for people to choose from. And so, on that note, you had 50 pieces of artwork up on the wall, which meant you had 50 different 13 by 19 mini posters in the box, as well as 11 by 17. So, you know, and you printed out anywhere between 10 to 20, depending on the subject matter, because some people like this character a lot more than they do this character. And, I printed out way too much stuff. I had a lot of waste. I still have a lot of waste. I've got a lot of 13 by 19s sitting in a box in here. All the 11 by 17s are gone. Those are history. I've got all my 13 by 19s left over here. I mean, yeah, I could do a special sale on those for like $5 to $10 a piece and see if they sold. But, you know, I'm not going to hold my breath on them selling. Um, but, you know, do I just cut my losses and move on? Maybe. Just because, there are a lot of cool stuff in there. But on the same token, it's like, you know, well, they've been stuffed in mothballs for the past year almost because my last show was in November. No, September or October of last year. I can't remember exactly when my last show was. It was Bonesy Jonesy's show up in Northwest Arkansas in Jonesboro, but I can't remember what date that actually fell on. What year? I mean, it was last year, but I can't remember. I can't tell you the exact date now. Um, but it was a great show at his comic book store, at Brandon Jones's comic book store, Bonesy Jones's Comics and Collectibles, and still a good dude. They have a great selection of comics and action figures and other stuff up there. Uh, the Lego minis and things like that. But yeah, it all boils down to what do people want. So it's like, well, from here, do I start putting out polls? Do you want to see this one in a canvas print and a 11 by 17 print? Those type things. And at that point in time, it's just like, well, let's see what happens. Because I'm planning on doing an Ozzy Osbourne piece as well, just like the Chester Bennington piece and the Five Finger Death Punch singer, Ivan Moody. That's him. That I've got. So both of those will be turned into canvas prints and T-shirts and some 11 by 17s. Like I said, Chester is going to be ordered up next, as well as um, more Joker shirts, and then the Naughty Nun. That one will be definitely ordered up as well. And then some Dexter shirts, but then I've got to figure out which one I want to do. So there's a lot of planning that has to happen. And yes, we're 6 months into the year as of June now, and it's going to be cool Aussie shirt, 100%. And um, it's just there's a lot of planning that has to happen. Like I said, I've still got to get my table covers done, got to get my new banners done, um, with all my new logos on them. Hopefully, if I get any sponsors, I can put their name on there. I'm still looking for sponsors. So if you want to sponsor me, let me know. And yeah, I know what you meant, buddy. It's all good. I know you get overly excited with the typey type. We all do it. I mean, hell, even voice to text sucks for me because it puts out shit that I don't even talk about. The thin black dog rolled over the fox with the hole in its bottom and stuck a finger in its ear, and it's just like I never said any of that. So lots of planning is going to happen. I'm also thinking about doing something like this that gives you a little menu of all the artwork on the inside instead of having a huge backdrop going on back there. But you know, you still want to see the artwork presented. So that could be where the canvases come in to play, back there. And, have a menu book that has all of the different art that's available. Excuse me. And, there's a lot of things going through my mind when it comes to everything that I want to do. And it's just like, well, damn, you procrastinated long enough because we are to the point where we should already be having a lot of stuff in house. We should already be having canvas prints in house. We should already be having 11 by 17 prints in house, you know? And there's going to be two different sizes of canvas prints, you know? There'll be the 11 by 14 size as opposed to a 16 by 20 size. So, you're looking at 100 bucks on one, 150 on another, you know? So for your canvas prints. And then do I want to do metal prints on top of that? You know, the metal prints look awesome. They look really phenomenal. And some of this stuff would look really cool as a metal print. But then it's like, who wants to buy a metal print? You know, and then you find out, hey, a lot of people like metal prints because they're more durable, and you don't have to worry about them getting destroyed. Now they can get scratched up and things like that. But if you're hanging them on the wall, you can do a magnet on your wall, and boom, it sticks to that magnet. You know, so just lots of different things that I'm thinking about having done. And it's just like, well, you need to get started. I basically need to take about $1,000 of my paycheck and turn it into new product every paycheck. You know, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not because the table cover can cost you know 75 to 200 bucks on its own. Did you ever find out how that fire started? On your no, still don't know. It's probably just because of the wiring situation as it went in that brooder section. Because we have, unfortunately, we don't have any power to the garage. The only power I've got to the garage is from an extension cord coming from the house to a power strip, and then another power strip hooked into that power strip, and then from there you've got different plugs into each of those outlets. So you've got 12 different plugs running off of one cord, so off of one circuit. But I do have a box out there that I'm going to put some fuses into and see if it actually works, and go from there. So it is an older box, but it still is functional. So I just have to see if the 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 breakers will actually fit in that box. So that I can have safe power. We are talking about doing some solar out there as well. So, you know, it is what it is, and we'll figure it out. It's just going to take some time. That's part of having a brooding box as well, so that you can. My new coop is going to run off of complete solar, 100%. There's not going to be any chance of fires and things like that, just because we're going to have solar panels hooked to the building. We're going to have solar fans working to suck out, to keep air circulation going. We're going to have solar lights in there, so that on the rainy days it does get you some power in there and things like that, so that the birds can see and not be in the dark. Uh, those type situations. Um, so yeah, it's going to be interesting, when it's all said and done. But there's still a lot of planning stages there too. I mean, the plans are already done. They're built. They're ready to go. The building's built. I just have to put the walls up. I have to get insulation in. I have to get all the inside stuff built, which isn't a whole lot, because you're basically doing um, exactly, and that's the way I want the house to be too. Is total efficiency, running on its own power. Um, but to do that, you've got to buy X amount of solar panels for your house. You got to buy batteries for your house. You have to have the AC to DC converter. You have to have or vice versa. Um, there's a lot to it. So we're looking at wind turbine as well. Um, and that's probably what I'm going to do first for the chicken coop is the wind turbine with solar, so that it all runs off of, so that if it does get cloudy and dark and the solar stops working, I've got the backup wind turbine to power up, the coop, to keep it running efficiently, with the fans and things of that nature. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that'll work. I don't know how you're going to run that from here all the way to your property over there, because that's what is it, 9 miles worth of cabling? That'd be a lot of money. So now, if I did have a major wind turbine or a um, major solar farm on that note, we could work something out, I'm sure. Uh, but all the roads we would have to cross, all the city lines we'd have to cross, you know, might be a lot of mad people. Let's put it that way. Just trying to get it over to your house, a major power line. But yeah, no. Um, but that's the whole total plan, is to be self sufficient, to be off grid, even in, you know we're in the country, but we're in town for the most part. Um, but to be off grid and to to live free of a company that likes to charge a ton of money for not a lot of service. You know, oh, well, we deem you use this much because your meter is continuously running on a regular basis, and so you used way more power, so we're charging you $600 for this month. You know, and a lot of people see that on a regular basis, and it's sad. And that's why you see so many people that do live in the country as setting. They don't have power hookups from OG&E or whatever company that gives them their electricity. Now, the sad part is, even if I did have solar to my house, you still have to have a drop from OG&E to your property in case the power does go out from your solar. So, oh, you're going to come bottle it up? That'd be interesting. I'm bottling up some electricity. Hold on just a minute. Now, from a battery, you possibly could do that. But that's how you bottle up the energy. Oh. But yes, right now I should have a lot of stuff in house, and I don't. The only thing I've got coming are the shirts, the Joker shirts, and the job cover on a canvas prints and some 11 by 17 prints, which I will be presenting to Patrick Hickey's crew for Legacy Comics to see who wants to purchase these items. Now, over the next X amount of days, weeks, months, I will be sitting down and going through my catalog of items and be like, okay, what has sold, what didn't sell, what was our biggest sellers, those type things. And I can already tell you what some of them are going to be. The Crow was one. Uh, Gambit was another. Uh, Sailor Moon was one. Uh, so on and so forth. So, it's all just going to be interesting to say the least um, of what is going to come when it comes to the prints, the canvas prints, 11 by 17 prints, and things of that nature. So I'm looking forward to it all. But, that's neither here nor there right now, just because we are in the process of, just trying to get it all lined out, including backdrop, including table cover, because I want the table cover to look cool, you know. And the 412 production logo is going to be right front, dead center up front, you know. Um, and again, any sponsors that I get, if they want their name listed, I will put their name on there, you know. Considering I've never done anything for Twilight series, yeah, it was my biggest seller. Out of all of my artwork, no one's ever asked me to do anything Twilight related. So there you go. And I'm happy about that. Oh, stupidest series in the world. And now they're making a whole new one. I digress. I'm sorry. It's just they they never should have made the first one. But there you go. So yeah, I'm looking forward to everything that's happening. Just because great things are about to happen, but a lot of planning is going into it all. And it's with great planning comes great responsibility. Like get off your ass and get things done is what it boils down to. So again, if you want to be my sponsor out there, if you have a corporation that brings in millions of dollars a year and you want a tax write off and you just want to help out a struggling artist put food on his table, um, you can become a sponsor. That helps offset the cost of the booth prices. Um, I wouldn't make you guys pay for the gas or the hotel room and stuff like that. But if you wanted to take care of the hotel room and the cost of getting a booth at a show, that would be great sponsorship right there in and of itself. I know I'm not this hot chick that's in a bikini flashing her boobs out at you right now, and stuff like that. But you know, I do great artwork according to people, and um, I do look forward to hitting 2026 pretty hot and heavy when it comes to comic book conventions coming up later on. So, what's up, Muncie man? Welcome to the show. You're only an hour late. Hopefully, you're doing good out there, Mr. Muncie man. I miss you, dude, from the military side. You're always a pleasure out there. I'm popping a cold one for you. Another V8 right there. Mm. I know you're a twinkle butt there, Roy. It's all good. I've seen some of the stuff you like to post. It's all good. We don't judge here. We don't judge here. But no, seriously, if anybody wants to sponsor me, lots of laughs. I'm good, bro. Just getting ready for work. Cool. I'm glad you stopped in though, bud. Um, but no, I am looking for sponsors. If somebody wants to sponsor me out there, they can hit me up via Messenger. And and yeah, I wish you would have been at the reunion that we had. Did you even know about the reunion that we had that they have every year? If not, you do now. And they always do it at Shawnee Twin Lakes at the pavilion there. So, uh, yeah, what was it? May? May it was this time. So, was it May? Yeah, I think it was early May. So, but there you go, buddy. So yeah, if you want to be a sponsor for 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson, hit me up and let me know. And yes, I'm also in school. Oh, very cool. Cool, cool. You're too cool for school, dude. But no, I'm glad you're broadening your mind and continuing on out there with your education. Unlike some of us. I mean, I did go back to school on the GI Bill once I got out of the military, and but once the GI Bill money ran out, I had good grades. I had a 3.8 grade average for the University of Phoenix, going through their early childhood education. I was going to become an art teacher in school, but once the GI Bill ran out, it was like, I got better things to do with my time than go to school on a regular basis. So I started living life, kind of, in a way. And now I do this artwork full time, and um, I love your work. I'm trying to, bro. Nice, bro. I understand that. No, yeah, and it's just one of those things that I probably could have continued on my own, but it was just like, no, I'm good. I I I don't. At the time, I didn't have the money to continue on being enrolled in school. Let's just put it that way. My job wasn't that great that I had. I was a non-emergency transporter, taking people to dialysis and any hospital or any doctor visits and things like that at the time. It didn't pay great, but it was fun because you were out on the road on a regular basis. You weren't stuck in an office or in a building or things like that. So no, it was great. So, but 2026 is going to be the year of the comeback, the year of the return to comic book conventions and things like that, with all new product. Like I said, you know, you guys can get your saw blade artwork like this right here. You can put your phone, your keys, all that good stuff right there, and it says, "I want to play a game." It is a real saw blade, 100%, and you can use it as a weapon if it came down to it. So there you go on that one. And that is Billy the Puppet from Saw. The little guy that rides the bike in the first one. The little tricycle. And then you've got Mr. himself, Art the Clown, on a saw blade as well. Right there. The girlfriend has the original one of this. And then Mr. Tristan has the other one. Right there. You're requesting to be in my live video. I've never done that before. But yeah, this one is the Art of Art. It is on a saw blade as well. Again, can be used as a weapon. So, sorry, internet. It's all good. No, I know what that means. I know what that's for. Because you can pull other people into your video if you wanted to. And I try to avoid that unless I'm interviewing the person. And maybe we'll get into that. Maybe we'll get into interviewing some people later on, like Roy and yourself. We can do that. And nothing to be sorry for. I get it all the time on TikTok, even though I'm in TikTok jail at the moment until tomorrow, actually. And then I'll be going live again on TikTok on Wednesday, the 11th. So, um, and hopefully by then, well, not by then, by the end of the month, I'm going to start working on going live on all my broadcast channels at the same time. It's either going to be through StreamYard or there's another program, and I got to look at it again because I can't remember the exact name of it right off the top of my head. But it allows you, you have to pay a subscription to it, and then it sends you to all of your social medias that you have all at the same time live. So, which means I'll be on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube live all at the same time. So, um, and I'm looking forward to that too. That's going to be part of the new stuff. Yeah, where I can tell people the truth. I'm going for the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the championship. Yes, Mr. Roy Joe Bradley Jr., I am so happy that you want the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the championship, that it is amazing that you're pulling for my hometown team. So, I got you. I got you. Hello, Tom. Welcome to the show as well. He's another artist out there. I think I met him from all of the work on like Tops and Upper Deck cards, is where we became friends from. And another cool dude. Great artwork out there. And yes, Roy. Yes, Roy. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. You can't handle the truth out there. And that Oklahoma City Thunder is going to win the series and destroy the Pacers in the process. Make them go crying home to their mommies and wet their diapers as they enter into this series. There you go. So have a fun day with that one, Mr. Roy Joe Bradley Jr. Thinking of your beloved pacifiers in their diapers. So, crying with their thumbs in their mouth. Me, 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 we need our mommy. They beat us so bad. It's going to happen, bruh. It's going to happen. So, just get used to it. The Indiana pacifiers are going down. They let them win their one, just like Golden State won their one against them. And then it was nothing but OKC after that. And that's what's going to happen here. 3 straight after this one. Boom, done. Series in hand. There you go. Going to be holding that trophy up above their heads. Confetti raining down in Oklahoma City colors. And thunder will roll. There you go. So. And we're not going to sing any Garth Brooks here, so like you like to do on a regular basis. I mean, Roy, Joe, Sparkle, but Twinkle Toes, Bradley Twilight Jr. You know what's going to happen, and you're on the wrong side of the betting crew, right there. So, you know that Oklahoma City Thunder is going to win. Yes, yes, of course I'm winning that bet. So there you go. All right. So there you have it. Hopefully you all have a great day out there. And Monse, I hope you have a safe day out there. I don't know what you do for work. You know, I don't know if you're a crossing guard or if you're um, a bus driver out there or something. I mean, school's out anyway, so you pretty safe right now. Nah, I'm just kidding, man. I really don't know what you do. Just seeing what everybody does, anymore is kind of interesting. Like Bob, Mr. Bob Beard. He does construction now with his dad, and that's pretty cool. And oh, you're a police officer? That's awesome, dude. Congratulations, little Muncie out there as a police officer. No, that's awesome, dude. So many people in the military do go police officer side. You know, um, I did not for one. I mean, I could have, but I didn't. But that's awesome. Congratulations on that endeavor. And you've been doing that for how long? I know you're trying to put your gun belt on right now, and I'm asking you questions. So, and he's over there cussing me out. Damn it, Anderson! I've only got two hands. uh, Heck yeah, they're good. It's okay. 2 years. Oh, that's awesome. 2 years into it. I think Tristan is trying to get on with the highway patrol. Uh, just due to some circumstances that he's got going on in his life right now. But he was talking. He was looking into that. I think I got to talk to him about that. See if he's going to go that route or not. So, but yeah, no, that's a lucrative endeavor. Yeah, good luck to him. Muncie police officer. That's cool. Yep. Yeah, Muncie's a cool dude. He was always a fun guy. He was one of them wild childs out there in the military. Um, I won't I won't tell some of the stuff that happened in the military side. Um, yeah, that's what I've heard. Trying to get on with the state police is pretty hard. So he Tristan would have the mentality for it, I think. And yeah, I'm gonna spare some of the embarrassment for you out there. Now that you're a respected police officer out there, and no, Muncie's a cool dude, 100%. Just like Roy's a cool dude, even though he tries to give me shit on a regular basis. Since he bandwagon jumps from team to team on a regular basis, and it's all fun and games. But no, no, just some of the antics from Muncie back in the day, back in the military side. Uh, just makes me giggle from time to time, and that's good. Thank you. I try. No, it was all fun. You know, like I said, had I gone in earlier in life, I wouldn't have met you guys. You know, and so I'm glad I went in when I did, even though I wish I would have went in sooner out of high school, um, and that way I would have retired from the military instead of being retirement age when I joined the military. You know, because I was 33 when I joined, and so I was already the old guy going to basic training. I mean, there was a 30-year-old and a 31-year-old, but I was 33, so I was the I was the platoon sergeant or platoon leader actually in our basic training. Pretty much all but 20 days of basic training because the drill sergeants were like, "Oh, so you guys think you can do better? You go ahead and lead the crew." And then they fucked up, and I got back in the position. So, you know, I think I got fired one time by a drill sergeant, but that didn't last very long. So, and it wasn't even our drill sergeant. So at the time, but it was funny. So, but yeah, no, I will spare some embarrassment on that endeavor for you, Mister Muncie, and not tell some of the stuff that happened since you are a respected officer of the streets now, and I think we can overlook some of that. I did. Um, that's when I think I actually had my first heart attack over there. But they chalked it up to a pulled chest muscle because that's the only time out of my two heart attacks that I've had that it ever felt like a true heart attack was when I was in Afghanistan. But they were like, no, it's because you were pulling those Mark 19s and carrying them to the B hut, you know, and you pulled two of them off the truck and carried them off into the B hut. So you pulled the chest muscle and stuff like that. So that is service related right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I didn't get like hurt as far as like the sunburn that one guy got. He ended up getting a purple heart over it, which still pisses me off. But anyway, but yeah, they chalked it up to a pulled chest muscle, so that actually was in my service records, and so I actually got 60% disability from the VA on that note. I'm at 90% right now. But on the same token, it's going to take me forever to get to 100% because I've tried for the past 2 years to, yeah, that nice little sunburn he got. Oh, I got a Purple Heart for that, because it was from a shell casing that landed on me. Oh God, I'm sorry. I should not make light of the way people get their Purple Hearts. Oh, okay. Enough of that. Oh man. But no, yeah, I'm at 90%, and I've been trying for the past year and a half to get to 100%, but I just can't get there. Um, so I've got to start playing off of the heart issues and stuff like that. Yeah, it's 100% the truth. I mean, if you're gonna give Purple Hearts away, then you should have given it to all of us that got into a firefight, all of us that got into the IED. Because we scrambled our brains in that IED attack that hit us on the way up to Camp Blessing. You know, and yeah, you can't see the physical scars to it because we didn't have a red mark on our neck from the shell casing and all that good stuff. But um, we scrambled our brains, so we should have the Purple Hearts too. You know, and you should have a Purple Heart at this point in time. So to get it for a shell casing going into your eye bass and burning your neck, I, that makes no sense to me, 100%. But it is what it is. They wrote it up that way, and it was his commanding officer that wrote it up that way. And you know, um, I question a lot of stuff, and I can't even reach 100%. You know, but one day maybe I'll get there. So I just got to start adding more stuff and appealing certain things and stuff like that because I now sleep with a CPAP from being over there and those type things. So fun times, fun times. I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world, like I said, and have the camaraderie, and not just with military, but you too, right? You're a good dude, like I said, and it's just that you you have different brotherhoods out there, and the bonds you build with the people that you almost died with overseas, um, many different times over, because we could have not made it back any point in time, you know. Anytime we rolled outside the wire, we could have not made it back, you know. And that's just the chances we had to take. Like I said, the separate firefights. Um, I got you. Yeah, and you know they denied my CPAP claim, even though I'm got the CPAP in hand, and I didn't need it until after Afghanistan, because even my first ex was like, noticed the changes after I got back from Afghanistan, from the burn pits and things like that we were sleeping around, especially when we were going up north, you know. Yes, from them, of course. Yeah, 100%. So, that's stuff I've got to appeal and go from there. But that's neither here nor there. It'll all work itself out. One of these days, I will be at 100%. It might be as they're putting me in the ground, but maybe I'll reach 100% at that point in time. But I've still got another 50 years before that happens. So, but I hope everybody has a great day out there. Muncie, don't be a stranger. You've got my messengers and stuff like that on both here and on Facebook, and you can get my number at any point in time, and we can always chit chat. So, um, but yeah, no, this is it for now. I'm about to have to do some animal chores. They're about to start waking up for the day. So I'll be kicking them outside after they get some food in their bellies. The two little pigs that are in the house, and then all the dogs that are going to want to go outside, use the bathroom, and stuff like that as well. I'll get them outside first and then go from there. But I do appreciate each and everybody stopping in, checking out the channels from Facebook to Instagram here. I almost said TikTok, but I'm not live on TikTok right here. That will be the 11th. So, Muncie, if you're on TikTok, look me up there as well. And I appreciate each and everybody stopping in, checking out the channels, and listening to me rant a little bit about different things and just having some fun. Because that's what we do here. We love to have some fun. But as I like to say, as I leave you guys to it, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.